Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, reacting to the Toronto Raptors 116-103 loss to the Brooklyn Nets. Ryker,
And they were doing so good. They could have had this one.
throughout this game, it was back and forth. The Nets made a run, the Raptors made a run, and the team, especially going into the fourth, it looked like they might be able to pull this out, quiet the kazoos, get everyone amped up, and unfortunately, Ryker, we're playing them early. We're getting them all rocking out. The kazoos are out. The Raptors just can't seem to beat these top-tier teams. Not even top-tier teams. Teams that are at the level of the jacket that you are currently wearing right now, Ryker. I don't know if people have noticed it in the chat, but I don't know. They bait you, they tease you a little bit with a couple of wins. We were on a little winning streak. We remained on the tank. We didn't buy into all that false hope, and then the Raptors just couldn't get it done against the Brooklyn Nets today.
No. I came with a lot of ammunition in this one, Ben. I was watching with a very critical eye to pick fun at whoever I could on the Brooklyn Nets team. I'm wearing my, whoops, wrong side. I'm wearing my New York Knicks jacket now in support of my favorite New York State squad. I'm obviously rooting for, if they were to face in the playoffs, the Knicks to beat the Nets, but it is what it is. But there was one play in this one. I just want to start off with my criticisms. Blake Griffin, right? He was no dunks on his entire tenure on the Pistons. Then he obviously had a couple of lobs. He caught a couple bodies right away on Brooklyn, but he got out rebounded. There was one possession in particular. He jumped with Fred VanVleet and got completely out rebounded. And I said, this man, his legs are at the end of their days, Ben. It's funny to witness the absolute collapse of somebody's athleticism right in front of our eyes, but I can't be too overly critical because obviously the Raptors got blown away in the fourth quarter in this one. I just wanted to point it out that Fred VanVleet completely jumped higher than Blake Griffin on a rebound. So that was my little fun point of the night.
The big takeaway, the big positive from this Raptors game. But it does seem like people are happy that can we officially say it now? Because we've had this image up for the last while saying, is it team tank? Is it team playoffs? Who really knows? What do people want to see? Are we officially, is everyone on this bandwagon right now with team tank? Or are people still holding out hope with, 9 games left in the season, Ryker?
Yeah, there's no team tank, team playoffs now. This is a tank season. It's finished. It's wrote off. This was the game that you basically need to win. I would be shocked if the Raptors slip into that 10th seed. Also, I only learned today what the actual structure of the play-in tournament was, Ben. I thought 10 played 6, 7. I thought 10 played 7, 8 played 9. It's 7 and 8 play a single game eliminator. The loser of 7 and 8 then plays the winner of 10 and 9 to make the 8th seed. Crazy. I didn't realize how many layers there were to it. So anyways, the Raptors would have to do a lot of winning, even if they snuck into the 10th seed. Just right off the year. Right off the year, the core is intact. They're all signed in. Get a draft pick, whether it's high or low or whatever. There's going to be a lot more advantages next season in a more normalized year. And even if it's not normalized, just the year that you're going to have, you're going to know what to expect. So tank. It's not team tank or team playoff. It's just, that's it. It's a tanking season, Ben. I'm ready to write it off.
Well, Ryker, we might have to take away one of those shirts we made up on the new website. We'll plug it here early. The merch is ready. We teased it on the last podcast. You go to raptorsdigest.ca, go in the little navbar store, and you can check out all that. But before we start plugging, talking about the guy we really want to mention on this pod, we got a super chat. Gamer boy Devin saying OG really been feeling himself lately. That pull-up fade over KD in the second was clean. And OG Anunoby, we got in the thumbnail, future all-star. I don't know if I said all-star superstar Ryker, but he has been in his bag, flexing all of the moves he's been working on over the course of the year. When he was injured, when he was out with health and safety protocols. But what has gotten into OG as of late? Because that's definitely the big positive we can take away from this game and really this last stretch of Raptors basketball.
He's drinking Jordan's special stuff. I don't want to spoil the spicy pea because I'm giving about 4 out to OG. We can flash it early, but suffice it to say, Ben, this man, he was on an absolute tear this night. And especially with Kevin Durant having guarded him for multiple possessions, he crossed him up a couple times. He had some fadeaways, like Game Boy Devin mentioned. And Kevin Durant, he's a top defender in the NBA just because of his size, his IQ. So OG, if he's able to put away games against these upper echelon teams, now obviously the Nets aren't known for defense, but if he's able to start doing it consistently, and especially stat sheet stuffing, what do you call those, tongue twisters? We got ourselves a special guy. It's in the name of the title of this one, Ben.
Yeah, and he's doing it against these good teams, and Pascal has been struggling against those good teams this season, but we will dive into Pascal a little bit later. But what do you think his ceiling is? Do you think it's all-star? Do you think it's superstar caliber player? I know on Reddit, I've been peeping those, the tweets and Reddit, everyone's high on the OG bandwagon, and apparently a Kawhi Leonard, right? His rookie season, we named him Young Kawhi, and then we actually got the real Kawhi, and we kind of relaxed and cooled off on the hyped OG comparisons. But if you compare their stats, they're still on a really equal pace, and that's with some seasons of shorter off seasons, injuries, appendicitis, all of that stuff OG has had to go through. But after year 4, Kawhi made the jump from the 16, 17 points per game now they're currently, or 14, 15 points per game they're at now, to real superstar level. Do you think it's reasonable to maybe hope for a jump like that for OG and Anunoby this offseason?
Now you have to remember that the jump, he was still on a team with Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan, and a fantastic supporting cast that hadn't missed the playoffs since 1997. So there was a lot of things that were in Kawhi Leonard's favor, but if OG can start to take strides as a guy who's looking to score and looking to receive the ball on the offensive end, then that'll be the difference maker. Ben, there was little guys guarding him all night, but he was still being physical in the post, saying, I'm going to get that ball. I know I'm going to dribble into a double team, then I'll create a play. That's not the OG that we've known over the last couple seasons. That's the next progression in his game. That's what was really encouraging about this one.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. And we have a super chat, another super chat from Peasant Plays. Always in the super chat, always reliable in there, saying Big Body Birch. And man, Khem Birch, they made the joke with Lowry saying he's trying to get Birch paid, but Lowry's struggles tonight was probably his best game in the last 3 months. 24 points, 6 assists, always showing up in the big moments. Kyle Lowry does. But he's been getting Birch a lot of times. The dude was a glass cleaner out there with the offensive boards. Ryker, what were your takeaways from him? Because he did miss a few bunnies, but his finishing, it might not be great right now because we have been breaking out the kazoos. And I'm going to play, we've been holding off on playing this segment a lot as of late, but I think we're all bought in now. And it might be tough that Khem Birch is playing so well with the goal of tank, but with the tough competition we have ahead, it might not even matter. But I'm really hyped for Khem Birch and having him on this team going forward.
Now, and everything has a caveat this game because the starting center was Jeff Green, who was not a center, right? He was very much a small forward, power forward, and back in his prime, in his heyday. I know he's bounced around on 10 teams, but he's still pretty nice. I think he had the most points on Brooklyn this evening. But Khem Birch, 9 offensive rebounds. We've never seen offensive rebounding on the Raptors. Mm-hmm. Serge Ibaka didn't like the offensive rebound, right? Khem Birch was in there in the mix, getting his hand on the ball, getting tips, getting it back out to the shooters. Now, he didn't knock down a lot of threes tonight, so some of that offensive rebounding seemed to be in vain. But just to have a guy whose attitude, and you could say the same thing about Gillespie, but obviously he doesn't have that same height and length. Actually, are they around the same height? I believe Khem Birch is a little bit taller, but I know I'm going to get fact-checked.
He looks taller, but I believe Khem Birch is 6'9" as well, 6'9", 6'10".
Crazy. But
yeah.
Point being, guys that are willing to get in there and put in the effort to get an offensive rebound, obviously it resulted in a ton of second chance opportunities. They just weren't converted this evening.
Yeah, and people are talking about it in the chat, Ryker. With Khem Birch's ability, I think we all agree he'd be an ideal, perfect backup center. And maybe right now, that would be the role we should really bring him to, even with as well as he's been playing. And bring back the tank commander, Aaron Baines. Throw him as the starter, Ryker. Get this guy, maybe him a bit of money. Make sure he earns a contract next season, because the Raptors really struggled when he was out there getting that run. And I don't know. It's you on board with bringing back Aaron Baines?
we don't need to bring back Aaron Baines because we're losing anyways. And I'm reading now. Phil B is saying, why is the mod deleting messages? No, I think it's a message retracted. I don't think it was the mod deleting. I think somebody just deleted their own message. Anyways, Ben, point being, we're losing games anyways, so let's develop Khem Birch, who I'd suspect will probably be re-signed this offseason.
Yep.
Whereas Aaron Baines, his future is a little bit less certain. We'll put it that way without getting too much into it. But Ben, before we talk about any other Toronto Raptors players, let's take the point to say very low viewership in this one. I think people are deflated because, just like us, we've arrived to the conclusion together. This is a tank season. I don't know if there's any way to put it around it, but for those that are there, it helps us greatly. You've all been following along this entire season long. We're so close to the end, and free agency, it always gets exciting. Off season always gets exciting. Potential draft picks. So it helps us to get into the like section. Subscribe if you haven't already. I think it's only the true fans that are here right now watching, but play that animation, the road to 20,000 subscribers. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're on that road to 20K. It might be the off season when we get there, but if everyone collectively gets together and gets in that subscription section, we might have to name that as well. The Raptors have not been doing us any favors with the subscriber count or whatever, but you guys have held true, which we appreciate, and we look forward to recording that video, getting that stuff going. People are asking for like spikes, people are asking for everything, but I feel like this is going to be a pod that will diverge into some wildness at the end, Riker. So let's just dive into the segment so we can really amp up the fun. Some people are saying they're deflated. We kind of went on a little sad boy Raptors spree there, so we'll move straight into the segments. And tonight, the spicy play of the day. Riker alluded to it earlier. He's got a bunch to break out, but before he dives into those, limited time. We're in the twilight, Riker. It's limited time. You guys can go to www. Add that in there. You know, those hyperlinks. ShopTigersMilk.com. Check out the hot sauce. Roja Jungle Spice. I'm always trying to get this animated here, and use the promo code We the North to get 50% off your hot sauce. There's only a few more days for this promo code.
I think this might even be the last day, Ben, so time's ticking.
Yeah, definitely check that stuff out. It's the qualitiest hot sauce I've ever had, so check it all out. We're not memeing there. It's quality stuff. But Riker, you have a bunch of stuff with OG Anunoby, so take it away.
I said at the beginning, Kevin Durant, he was matched up against OG Anunoby. First quarter, OG crosses him up. It was a bit of a loose possession. Crossed him up, finished with a slam. Second quarter, posted him up. Fadeaway. Dirk, Kobe, RIP, hit it over Durant. When was this? The third quarter, or maybe it was the fourth quarter. I think it was again on Durant. Blows by him, strong take into the lane, and then dumps it off to Birch. And then the very final play, he gets the very next possession, he gets a lob down low and then finishes. I'm always very impressed by just a stationary off 2 feet dunk with force, because you really got to get a lot of lift off if you're not moving. OG, he was doing it from all different areas on the court this game, it seemed.
Yep, certainly. And I'm saying future All-Star, the ceiling, the next Kawhi. That's what we're calling out here. Definitely that's the biggest positive takeaway in this game. And Malachi Flynn hit some shots as well. People were joking earlier in the pod in the chat saying that Nick Nurse is on Team Tank as he took out fourth quarter Flynn in the fourth, when we really could have sealed the deal with Malachi out there. Obviously the clutchest guy in the league, 13 points, few assists in this one. So quality stuff. But before we swing into the OG's play of the day, Peasant Plays is out here with another super chat saying OG needs to be all defense. And Riker, do you see the stat saying how OG is 7th in Defensive Player of the Year voting?
Really?
Yeah. Behind Matisse Thybulle, which I can kind of get because the Sixers have had nice defense, but do you think that's too high, too low for OG right now, the way the Raptors are struggling, but obviously he's a lockdown guy?
Yeah. This is a tough one because yes, you can have a fantastic individual defender on a poor defensive team, but the fact is, what's the point of giving an award or a big accolade like that to a team that's not even in the play-in tournament? Now, people might have a counter argument to that, but you got to give it to the guys that are in the limelight that, realistically, when the defense is kind of close, like if you have two guys that are competing, they're able to shut down players in multiple positions on any given night, and you have one guy that's contributing to a team that's at the top of the conference versus a guy who's not even impacting wins, you have to give the benefit of the doubt to the guy that's on that winning team. So
yeah, and it's honestly impressive that he's on that list currently with the level the Raptors are at. So it's a big positive there. And hopefully next season, we're saying that jump can happen. You're flexing that Knicks jacket. It's popping up in the screen.
I'm stretching.
But not all plays can be the spicy Pele of the day, and some just make you say, oh, geez. And tonight, the end of this game was a big oh, geez, Riker. Do you have anything specific in mind on this one?
I had it to Fred VanVleet out rebounding Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
I just thought it was the most hilarious thing ever. I'll save my other point for, I guess, afterwards, because usually there's a little bit between us saying final 2 minutes, getting your questions, and questions rolling in. So I'll save it for like that little in between dialogue.
Word. And we'll. This is what I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting for: the infamous, the one, the only DeMario Carroll Gold Star Award tonight. And we've held off on the Siakam talk for this segment. 10 points, Riker, against the Brooklyn Nets really could have been a turning point in the season. You'd want your best player to really step up. And from the eye test, you said he didn't look that bad just watching him play. Then you look at the box score, 2 of 16 from the field, 0 of 5 from the three-point line, and he has been solid as of late. He's had some really good games. I went out of my way to say how well he was performing in the previous game, just to have to eat my words in this one. But Riker, it seems like he's doing more of the right things. He's definitely looking more spry than he was at the beginning of the season. But the Brooklyn Nets, with Jeff Green as their center, Siakam couldn't get his game going against the squad in a game that everyone knew. Birch was saying that every game is like the playoffs now at this point, because it had to be. These were must wins. This is disappointing. This is a disappointing performance from Siakam.
That's to say the very, very least, Ben. I don't want to grill him too much because we've been hyping him up.
Yeah.
And so this is a real one it's not karma. I mean, we've been giving more positivity towards this guy than the entire fan base, but it is what it is. When you continuously don't show up against the top teams, it's hard to gain respect for yourself as an NBA player that has a max contract. There's no two ways around that. He needs to be better in these kinds of games, man.
Yeah, it's a brutal look. I don't know. I trust he'll bounce back in the offseason, or following I'm sure he'll play well in the offseason at Rico Hines or wherever he is. But following the offseason into next year, I trust he'll be good after a year of development. He always seems to come back when he has time to develop and he doesn't have 3 months off. But yeah, those are the guys. We skipped over Gillespie, Utah. Before we swing into the final alarm, is there anyone you want to talk about? Anything you want to say?
No, swing into the final alarm, Ben.
Alrighty. Woo, 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 woo. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. That's right, the final alarm has gone off, and we want to hear your guys' takes on this team, on the Raptors, and just anything. On the tank, on whatever's happened. But, Riker, what are your just thoughts before we get those questions and stuff coming in?
Ben, I'm jealous of Landry Shamet, because tell me how many times he was open from 3 this game, wide open shots. Right, he's on a team with Kyrie, Kevin Durant, James Harden doing all the work for him. Not Gary Harris, whatever his name, Joe Harris is the 3-point threat, so everybody's chasing him around the line. They have their big men that are going to go in and rebound. Landry Shamet has the benefit of just being the one guy that you're willing to give those open shots to, so he can make a career from just hitting open shots. And that's not a knock to like however hard his work ethic is and whatever his journey's been to the NBA, but he probably has the easiest role in all of NBA right now, Ben.
Landry Shamet, he's out here. He's I don't know. Do you think you or I could hop on that Brooklyn Nets team and shoot some threes? People are asking about our games in this one.
I couldn't. I was 0 for 11 from my last pickup game there, but you were hitting some shots.
Shooters gotta shoot. We got a couple of super chats coming in, and Dapinder Dylan. I don't know if I have to break up
Jonas
the Charles Barkley name on that one, but
Vasilevsky.
tank or chip, what are we aiming at? And I'm breaking it out. I'm calling the kazoos. I think everyone's got to be on board. The chat seems to be back into the favor of the L's following the tank for this Toronto Raptors squad. You agree with this, or you change your mind over the last 7 minutes?
We're not aiming for the chip, that's for sure. That's hilarious, though.
Well, honestly, this could be. I don't want to brush over. I'll bring up Peasant Plays super chat as well because this feeds into a nice little segue. But Peasant Plays is saying, we got multiple coming in. I don't want to fly over. Paul Blunt was first saying rev up the tank, right? He's revving it up. We're all on that.
Rev up the tank.
Get that
because it was all exclamation marks.
Okay, I feel, and the caps and all that.
Caps.
And it's getting energetic with those super chats, and then fuel the tank. Everyone's on Team Tank. It feels like this animation is rendering itself a little bit useless, Ryker. But I think we gotta say some stuff to the guys. But we have another super chat for Kiko Latte. I'm gonna throw this animation for myself again. Fade for Cade. That's the theme of this podcast. Everyone's on board, but Ryker, we made a couple of shirts for this segment, for this idea, and we plugged it earlier when there wasn't many people in the chat. We got 200 concurrent viewers in here, but Ryker, the merch is live. The merch is live out here. That fall back, you guys can go to raptorsdigest.ca and get these killer hoodies, right? These cool stuff here. People are noticing my haircut as well. I appreciate. And if you want to accentuate any solid haircut, any look, you can get the qualitiest of merch at raptorsdigest.ca. Go to the link store. We got the Shopify site cooking, so check it out. You guys can get the first season of Raptors Digest merch designed by us, designed by Ryker and I. You designed this crazy artistic premium hoodie, Ryker. Anything you want to plug as you lean back in your desk chair there?
No, we'll make some really cool animations to promote it, but it's been a long time coming, and now we have everything figured out. Suppliers. Mm-hmm. That was really the only thing. Website. The legalese. So we're fully there if anybody wants to. Made in Canada. It's all Canadian-based, Toronto supplier. And how it will work, actually, you submit your order. I will personally send you an email to say thanks for your order. We are now going to print it. And then after that, then I will send you an email to say it's off the printing line. It's sent into your house. So that's how it's gonna go. Design My Apparel. They're doing all that for us. And if you want to create whatever, your own logos, your own crazy stuff, birthday parties, celebrations, bar mitzvahs, whatever, then you can pop right on, Design My Apparel, create your own custom clothing too, or pop over to our website and look at some of our stuff. But Ben, we have another super chat.
Yep,
and this one's about me. I might as well read it. Steven Tanaka. I know Riker's repping the Knicks, but who's Ben rooting for in the playoffs, assuming the Raptors miss the play-in? I already know, but Ben, take it away.
What's your guess? What's your guess?
You said Denver. No, you said Dallas Mavericks. Sorry.
I'm all in on the Luka train. I love the Mavs. I do like the Knicks though. I appreciate the Knicks squad. Got love for RJ Barrett, but deep down I might get some hate for this. Lakers, in terms of realistic finals teams, they're my go-to. I'd like to see LeBron get that extra chip. Look at this guy flexing that Knicks hat. Get that in the Zoom chat there. You got more Knicks gear than Raptors gear, bro. What do you...
Yep. I'm just excited for the Knicks to be relevant again, like the hundreds of dollars of Knicks gear that was dropped about 8 years ago. I can brush off from the closet and rock it again. And I just don't like any teams in the East because they're always competitors to the Raptors. So it's nice to have maybe the Knicks give some.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's a fair team, and I don't know, it's unfortunate Denver's out, but in the East, there's not a lot of teams you can really root for. People are saying Portland. Portland's also a team, but they've been struggling. I don't know. It's a tough look for the Raptors this season. You got to support these other squads, and the Raptors will bounce back next year. But people are talking about the merch. People want a Jenny Driscoll hoodie. Shout out Christopher Fung, always bringing that up in the chat. But LeBron over Kawhi, yes, indeed. Kawhi, I appreciate the man. I appreciate him as a basketball. Aesthetically, he's great to watch. The memories are great, but I want zero success for the LA Clippers. Want that team to lose every single game. Are you on that board, or do you have any love for the LA Clippers?
No love for the LA team. No love for LeBron, AD, but specifically the Lakers for just absolutely treating Marc Gasol with bad intentions, because he's just sad over there on the bench. At least give him the heads up. Hey, you're going to be benched now, but instead they just have him sooking on the bench, and it's just a bad look for a guy that's an NBA champion.
Yeah, that's fair, but Peasant Plays out here with another super chat saying the Mavericks are curb stomping the Warriors. You love to see it. I also like the Warriors too. Steph Curry is my guy. But yeah, Riker's a big Steph Curry hater. Who do you dislike more?
I'm a hater of all players that are good.
So you hate me?
Who? You? Yes, that's why I will dominate our 1v1 game.
I'm gonna have to pull out some Steph step backs in that one, some Lucas step backs. I don't know. People are saying they're on the site. We're getting some random stuff. Bulldog is saying, Riker, give Ben a haircut for me, please. I just got a haircut. I think it looks fresh. People didn't notice, Should I go back to the young curls like you when you and I were twins?
Yeah. Yeah. Do it. Let's confuse. We'll do one podcast where we have the same haircut and I'll be on the right side of the screen, left side of the screen, you be on the right side of the screen, and see if people even notice.
They will not. It will not. They will just be unrecognizable. But people are talking about the website. Check it out. If people that are new in here, raptorsdigest.ca. Collect that merch, season 1. Keep plugging that throughout this segment. But Lakers got no respect for Marc Gasol. Definitely agree. Did he mess up leaving? Because I feel as if Raptors fans would have absolutely ruined that guy if he stayed on this team. Because the level at which he's playing at this season, it's not as bad as Baines, but we'd have higher expectations for Marc Gasol.
No, we wanted him to leave, if you remember correctly.
Yeah, exactly.
His productivity wasn't there last year, so.
Yeah. So is it smart
just reading through? It was smart that they didn't re-sign, and then Lakers inherited his problems, and they were intensified from last year, and then they did exactly what we did with Aaron Baines, which was bench him. It's just, again, I feel bad for the guy because he didn't expect it, whereas Aaron Baines clearly did expect to be benched.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. People are asking for WNBA facts, signature Ryker Crocs. People plug
me some Crocs.
Plug in the site. Once we get it all fully built out and get the crazy stuff. But and someone asked if we're gonna do a live stream for the draft pick reaction. Off season, sometimes people don't know, especially new people to the channel. The off season's where we thrive. All the rumors, all the trade stuff happening. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you want all that quality stuff. But are the Wizards dumb enough to trade Siakam for Bradley Beal right here?
No. So I read a report today that said the Bulls are going to look to trade for Westbrook. So they're going to look to put Kobe White, Patrick Williams, couple firsts into a trade deal for Westbrook this offseason.
Kobe White?
I don't know.
And Patrick Williams and first?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, clearly they need some win now
Wizards
pieces.
news, but that would be a horrific trade for the Bulls. They're worse than us. They're trying to be good, and they don't have any picks.
Yeah, but listen, they have Vucevic, they have Levine, they have Markkanen, they trade for Westbrook. That'd be a clean enough team.
I don't know, bro. You're on the bandwagon that Vooch leads tank teams. Zach LaVine's not much of a defender. Russell Westbrook's not much of a defender at this point in his career. I think that'd be silly, but who knows what happens there. We might have to start talking about these other squads, Riker. But people are asking how the draft odds work, and the lottery essentially now is a lot more favorable to the less worse teams. So even if we can creep ourselves a little bit lower, it will still be advantageous even if we aren't in the bottom 5. But if
we won't hit 13 though.
We won't hit 13?
No, I think we're too far. So 13 is
in the East. Is the Cavaliers right now.
Yeah, I think we're 5 games up of the Cavaliers, and they're losing too. So we're gonna finish a solid 12.
Yeah, in the East, but the Sacramento Kings are also a team we got to worry about in the lottery. OKC we might be able to catch. I don't know. Maybe the tanks and stuff, they might not be worth it, but Peasant plays. He's been out here hitting those super chats in this pod. But the Miami Heat not happy with Tyler Hero. Must pursue. And I believe someone asked earlier if Kyle Lowry's going to go to the Miami Heat. Do you think maybe a potential Lowry for Hero sign and trade in the offseason is possible, or? Yeah.
This is crazy speculation, but Ben, I don't know. This doesn't seem the energy is not there in the comment section to really drag this one out too long. We'll see what happens next game. I mean, there's an interesting couple of games to play out. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll get a couple fun wins just for the sake of it, but I wouldn't expect much from this Raptors team in terms of pushing for that 10th spot.
Yeah, this is a tough game. Tough end of the year. Could have been the turning point for the season. Obviously, people just want a direction for this Toronto Raptors team, and we had it, we lost it, we went on a win streak, we went on a losing streak, we had our ups and downs, and I think it's finally safe to say the tank is official. That's where we're at. And someone said the Tiger's Milk Townies. Shout out Z, that Newfoundland term, I guess. But Riker's got the hat on to end off the season. Again, we'll have one last final plug saying definitely check out the merch. RaptorsDigest.ca. Get your Team Tank shirts if you're on that tank wagon. Rock this hoodie here. Right, if you're still Team Playoffs, you might want to rep that while you can, or buy low on those Team Playoff shirts. But we got red hoodies, black hoodies, premium designed hoodies by Ryker Richard and art of a tree and stuff. I don't know. Do you want to plug the merch one last time before we end it off, Ryker?
You just plugged it.
Yeah, you gotta speak on it, bro. You gotta hype it up.
Yeah, listen. It will come with some crazy animation. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Check it out.
I like the hat tip. You know how it is. But you guys are the best to make it this far. Check out the Twitter, the Instagram, all the cool stuff. RaptorsDigest.ca. Go to the store tab. Some quality stuff. But the TikTok Race Mode Daily send it off with a final super chat saying not enough for coffee. Go to bed. Honestly, he's always sending those late super chats. We appreciate it. We appreciate everyone in the super chat. People have been very generous here and to end it off. But Ryker, do you have any last words?
That's it. We'll see you next time, guys. Don't get too low on this. There's lots of fun to be had. We just have to enjoy the last couple of games. Take things away from it.
Yeah.
Cheers.